Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Tuesday, February 9th, 2016, around 4:23 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. Mixing sun and clouds today. Highs around 30 or so. Some of the snow's melting, which is good news. Tomorrow could be some scattered snow showers, anywhere from a coating to 2 inches. Depends where you are. This is not going to be widespread. No school cancellations, no delays. We'll wait and see. Some news to report. There's been a big blockbuster trade in the NHL. The Ottawa Senators acquired the Maple Leafs captain and defenseman Dion Phaneuf, and this clears some salary space for the Maple Leafs to try to get Steven Stamkos, who's an unrestricted free agent, on January 1st. Will Stamkos sign with the Maple Leafs? Bet on it. And also, swingman of the Chicago Bulls, Jimmy Butler's going to miss 4 weeks because of a knee strain. He's not going to be in the All-Star game. His teammate Paul Gasol has taken his place on the roster. And prayers to Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank, who's been diagnosed with prostate cancer. So prayers to him. Hopefully he beats it. And that's about it on the news. My second video blog subject of the day is about my take on UFOs and aliens coming down from other planets and the supernatural. For many, many years, there's been big phenomenons about people seeing UFOs and aliens and the supernatural. There's been so many television shows over the years about those subjects and movies. Some of the most famous ones have been The X-Files, where they see if something's out there with UFOs and aliens coming down from other planets and supernatural. The Twilight Zone, one of the most famous science fiction anthologies of all time. And there's been a lot of movies about aliens coming down from other planets and supernatural. And these things have started many, many years ago. I remember in 1938. Well, I wasn't born in 1938, but I remember in 1938, there was, on October 30th, 1938, a radio show by Orson Welles. He said it was the War of the Worlds, that aliens were coming down from other planets and attacking people. It was just like a radio show, but a lot of people believed that. And they called up radio stations saying, we're being attacked by aliens. We're being attacked by aliens. I don't know if that was just a movie, radio programming, but people believe that. And I kind of believe that, in my opinion, there are other planets and other solar systems that have people on it, the aliens on it, and maybe one of these days they'll come into the United States. And there's been like the Mars rover and to study Mars, and they said that there's been a possibility that human life could live on there, but the other planets, they don't know if human life has lived on there. But we'll wait and see if that ever happens. Also, people see UFOs, unidentified flying objects, all of the time. Sometimes they report it, and sometimes they're like flying saucers or other like things in the air that is not an airplane or a helicopter, that unidentified. And I tend to believe there's a lot of UFO sightings a year. I believe that there's a lot of unidentified flying objects going around in this world. And also, the supernatural. Sometimes the supernatural could be curses or phenomenons or other strange stuff. And a lot of people have believed in the supernatural. I'm not really big on the supernatural, but there's two stories that I've heard over the years that I actually kind of participated in and stuff. Like in the late 1980s, when I was part of a Boy Scouts troop, we would go camping to this camp reservation in Plymouth, Massachusetts, called Massasoit Camping Grounds. It was on Plymouth, Massachusetts. At one time it was Indian land, and eventually it was sold so the Boy Scouts of Massachusetts could go camping in there. And when it was sold, the first summer it was open. 3 campers were canoeing in the lake, and somehow the boat tipped over and all of them drowned. And once they drowned, they heard some Indian noise. And then many years later, when they had a lot of Boy Scouts camping in the tents, there was one time that they heard a kind of a ghost sound that took a tent and threw the tent onto the ground. And that got a lot of people frightened. The Boy Scout troop packed up at that moment in the middle of the night. And also there would be like drums hearing boom 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 boom. That's the supernatural. And when I was camping with the Boy Scouts, we heard that sound. Boom 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 boom. So I think there's some supernatural out there. Also, years ago, I hiked up a mountain in like the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and there was a few times that people have spotted a ghost of an Indian and a couple of strange characters and other stuff. And the supernatural is, kind of, I believe it somehow that it could be real. Also, other supernatural things that have been spotted over the years, including the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland in a lake. Many people have claimed to see it over the years. They've shown many pictures of what the Loch Ness Monster has been, and sometimes it's amateur photographers, but there's never been a video camera ever spotted the Loch Ness Monster. So I don't know if the Loch Ness Monster is an urban legend or like a phenomenon. Also, people have seen a Bigfoot. That's another phenomenon or urban legend. Sometimes I read the urban legends of supernatural stuff, and sometimes they're believable, other times they're not. And another phenomenon with the supernatural was like the weekly world news with aliens and other crazy stuff with the supernatural and UFOs, and that was just a parody and stuff. So what my take on the UFOs and aliens and the supernatural, I really do believe there is something out there for all of these things. And maybe in the near future, there'll be more of this stuff all over the place, and television shows, and more movies, and more books about the supernatural, aliens, and UFOs. So the truth is out there, as what they say on the X-Files. So I do believe that there's some activity with UFOs and aliens, and definitely the supernatural. And that's about it on that. I'll be back with the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about Dick Albert, the former meteorologist of WCVB Channel 5. And this previous video blog was suggested by one of my Facebook friends, Shiloh Lewis. So that's a shout out to her. And if you want anything shouted out, plugged, and like a future video blog subject you want to talk about, private message me. And like I always say, keep calm, everybody. I'm a truly budding guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart's the best, and she's so stunning, and she's a blonde who's so leggy. Amy Swensy's so awesome. Julie Donaldson of Comcast Sports Mid-Atlantic's my TV sports crush. Michelle Beadle rocks and has nice legs. Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent. And in the words of Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, tonight in this very ring. See you later.